Hi, my name is Grace Schweitzer. For my cultural plunge assignment, I chose to go to a Jewish synagogue. I chose a Jewish synagogue because my Christian faith is based on the Jewish faith, so I was interested to learn more about that religion. Although there are similarities between the two faiths, I knew that the Christian religion and the Jewish religion were very different. I knew that the Jewish religion had traditions that dated back to many, many years ago. The only experience I had with the Jewish faith was going to a bar mitzvah one time. I knew Jewish people looked different and talked different. I've seen them wearing yarmulkes and speaking in Hebrew. These are things I was very unfamiliar with. Honestly, I thought it was strange and very old-fashioned. My thoughts going into this were that the Jewish faith was dated and not very relevant to modern times. This caused me to assume that all Jewish people were old-fashioned and not very knowledgeable about modern things. I was interested to go to a Jewish service and see if I was wrong. I looked online and found a synagogue near me and found out that they have services on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. This service is called the Sabbath service. In the Jewish faith, Sabbath is a special day. It is to be a day of rest. It represents the day God rested after creating the earth. On this day, Jewish people are not to do any work. They are to go to the synagogue and pray and read from the Torah. The Torah is the book that the Jewish religion is based on. The Jewish culture is also very affected by this book. It describes how the Jewish people should live their lives. 613 commandments are included in that Torah, and all Jews do their best to obey them. These commandments include what they should eat, what they should wear, and what holidays they should celebrate. There is a huge number of traditions in the Jewish faith that are described in the Torah. Heading to the synagogue on Saturday morning, I expected to hear people speak in Hebrew and wear yarmulkes. When I first entered the synagogue, I was warmly greeted by the rabbi. The rabbi is the teacher of the Jewish faith. He leads the services. The rabbi informed me that it was a special day at their synagogue. It was special because they were in possession of a Torah scroll that was being passed around to different cities in the United States. The Torah was then going to end up in Israel. Israel is very special to Jewish people because it is where their faith originated. During the service, I observed and experienced the many traditions of the Jewish faith. I heard them recite a prayer for putting on their prayer shawls. I watched them stand and sit at certain times of the service. I also watched the rabbi turn around and face the Torah while saying certain prayers. When it came time to take the Torah out of the ark, everyone said a certain prayer before it could be moved. Then the Torah was passed around the room where everyone, including me, touched the Torah and then kissed the fingers that touched it. As the Torah was being read, everyone stood up and circled the Torah to be closer to it. Once the reading was finished, the Torah was again passed around to be touched, and then a prayer was said before returning it to the ark. These are exactly the type of traditions I was expecting. Old-fashioned. But by experiencing them myself, I learned that I actually liked them. The traditions made me think of the many traditions at Texas A&M. The traditions there are my favorite things about A&M. It is important for Aggies to take these traditions seriously. Comparing this to the traditions of the Jewish faith gave me a greater appreciation for the strict rules that they follow. Traditions are important. They connect people and give them a sense of unity. Traditions are also a sign of respect. As Aggies, we take our traditions seriously out of respect for the school and all those who were or are a part of the school. In a similar way, Jews value their traditions out of respect for God just because He is worthy of it. There are spiritual meanings behind each tradition. Attending this service made me want to take the Christian traditions more seriously. It gave me a yearning to learn about all of the Christian traditions and why they are in place. I want to be sure to live them out and give God the respect He deserves. Overall, through this experience, I learned that you should never judge religion or culture before you have truly experienced it for yourself. Some aspects of a culture may seem old-fashioned or may be pointless to you, but most likely that is not the case. There is always a reason behind everything, and it is worth taking the time to find out that reason. As a classroom teacher, this mindset will help me with my students. Students in my class will each have different cultures. If I don't take the time to understand these cultures, then I will never understand my students. Culture is what makes a person who they are. It determines how they live their lives. My students' cultures are going to explain why they act the way they do in my classroom. It will also explain how they like to learn and what interests them. I need to take the time to truly learn about and experience my students' cultures so that I can best help them get the most out of my teaching. There is not one culture that is better than another. We all come from different backgrounds and cultures, and that is what makes us special.